Hi, my name is Bryce Klinger, and this is my reflection presentation. So, a short history. I was born and raised in Boise, Idaho, and I graduated from Boise High School in 2008. The following semester, I enrolled in Boise State and for the fall of 2008 and began taking classes. Now, going to Boise State was something that was expected of me because, that's what you're supposed to do after you graduate high school. But it wasn't really something that I wanted to do. I didn't really want to continue my education. I was just doing it because that's what all my friends were doing. That's what my parents told me to do. So I just went along with it. I bounced between a full-time student and a part-time student for a few years, and then after a while, I kind of realized that I didn't want to go to school anymore. So for the spring term of 2013, I didn't enroll in classes, and that was my first semester off. Now, I during that semester off, I got a job at Asana Climbing, and that was great because I love to rock climb. And at that time in my life, that's really where my main focus was. So getting a job in a climbing gym was honestly my dream job. I was super excited to work there, and I worked there for 2 years. Although after about a year and a half, that's when I realized that I wouldn't be able to work there my whole life. It really wasn't a solid career. It was more just a job. And I was actually having like a little bit of trouble making my ends meet, trying to live. So at that point, that's when I realized that I needed to go back to school and finish my degree if I wanted to get a different kind of job or a career that would actually start giving me some more stability. So in the fall of 2014, that's when I went back to school and started taking classes again. I was a sociology major, and I was taking my core credit classes and my upper division electives. Trying to fill in what I had missed from my first shot at college, and so I did that for a year, and then in the late spring and early summer of 2015, I actually got the opportunity to move out of Boise and relocate to Salt Lake City. Um, for work, after working with Asana Climbing for 2 years, I had learned that I really wanted to work in the outdoor industry. So, and there's not a lot of outdoor industry jobs in Boise. There are, however, a lot of outdoor industry jobs in Salt Lake City. So knowing that there are a lot of career opportunities in Salt Lake, I decided to take the plunge and move out of Boise and go to Salt Lake City. So how I found the multidisciplinary studies department was I knew I was moving to Salt Lake City, yet my degree at Boise State was still unfinished. So I searched on Google degrees offered online at Boise State, and the results came up with the multidisciplinary studies department. So I looked into it, I applied for the department and got in, and that leads us to where I am now, which is in the present. So part of the reason why I moved to Salt Lake City was I really wanted to work on myself. I wasn't going to grow anymore as a person if I stayed in Boise. Sure, I could have gotten a job somewhere else, kept going to Boise State, but it was being in Boise, it's very much in my comfort zone. I've grown up there. And in order to really efficiently grow, I needed to get out of that comfort zone. Also, like, I really wanted to work on my physical health, my mental health, and even my spiritual health. And being in a new place and a new environment really allowed that to happen a lot more effectively than if I stayed in Boise. Another reason for me to relocate was I wanted to follow my passions. I love being outdoors and I love being active. My main passion is rock climbing. I also love to mountain bike, and in the winter, I absolutely love to ski. Now, Boise does offer all of those things, but not quite to the extent that Salt Lake does in the immediate area. Another reason was I knew I wanted to work in the outdoor industry, so this was a great move for me to start building my career. When I moved to Salt Lake, I applied for every outdoor job position I could find, and eventually I landed a job at Liberty Mountain. Liberty Mountain is essentially the Costco of outdoor supplies. My position at Liberty Mountain is I'm a house account clerk. So what I do is major retailers like Sports Authority, REI, and Amazon will place an order for what we sell, and then I will essentially pack it up and ship it out to them. What this does is this allows me to get my foot in the door in the outdoor industry. While I don't see myself working here for the next 5 years, depending on what my opportunities are after I graduate, I do see myself working here for the next 2 or 3. With that said, looking to the future is my next step. So gaining a degree in the multidisciplinary studies department is actually going to be a lot more effective for me in the long run than had I stuck with being a sociology major. It really allows me to round out my skill sets and develop more so I can be a more well-rounded person in general. I'm going to have a much broader range of opportunities than I would had I chosen a more conventional degree, say sticking with sociology or maybe working in business. This gives me more of a jack of all trades kind of opportunity that if I decide I don't want to work in the outdoor industry, I can move to a different industry and still be just as effective had I stuck with my main plan. And actually knowing that I'm going to graduate in a couple years is really exciting, and I cannot wait to see what the future holds.